Hello and welcome to season 2 of Be the Expression. We're so pleased that you're here joining us today. And I'm over the moon. I've been in anticipation to introduce magical Calista and her unicorns. So let me just share a little bit about Calista. So she is an author and a speaker, and she just actually wrote her book, Unicorn Rising, and was in a tour in the States. So she is from Scotland. And I love the tagline because the living your truth and unleash your magic. So that's kind of like a Be the Expression to me. Anyways, she has founded some amazing therapy systems: unicorn healing, angel healing, and Atlantean crystal healing. And she has healed herself through what is it? Just moving up through here to find some trauma, I guess, in your own life. So she has a remarkable understanding of what it takes to heal and love ourselves as our inner being does. So she offers classes and also teaches Kundalini yoga. So we have a connection that way. I don't teach Kundalini yoga, but been a yoga teacher for many years. And she has a beautiful affinity with nature and shares daily on Instagram. And that's the hashtag Mother Earth News, as well as elemental spirituality on Facebook. So you're a Hay House author. So welcome, Calista.
Welcome. Thank you for inviting me into this space. And hi, everybody. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are on Mama Earth. It's really wonderful to connect with you.
So Calista, you actually want to start us off with a grounding.
Yeah, anytime that I do an interview or a gathering like this or an event, I think it's really nice for us just to drop in, especially if we have been so busy. This is our first opportunity to really be present and take some time for us. So just going to invite us and myself and yourself just to ground for a moment before we begin. So if you're not driving, if it's safe to do so, I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath into your body, breathing in through your nose if you can, and then letting that breath go through your mouth. Breathing in deeply, bringing that breath down to the base of your tummy. And then letting it go. And once more, breathing in deeply. Pausing for a moment at the top of your breath. And then letting it go. And giving yourself that permission to just let go of the events of your day. Of any busyness, any hustle, any connections, conversations that you've had that just do not have their place in this moment, just letting them go. And as they do, just inviting that inner being, that greatness, that magic that lives within you to come forward, to step fully into that grace as you open your heart to everyone who is watching in this moment. Opening your heart to each other and setting an intention for what you would like to perhaps discover in this time together, or even the energies that we're working with that we're going to be bringing forward. Where would you like the energy of that to go? something that you want to be blessed in your life, a project, a person, a relationship. Just seeing and feeling that intention come forward. And then let it go. Breathing it out. It's been heard, it's been witnessed, and it will come in for you perfectly. And into this space, we also call forward and invoke the unicorns to be present with us, and the guides and masters, elementals that wish to interact with us from the highest point of love. Thank you, and so it is.
Thank you. And so it is. That's beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Feeling them gather in. Feels like a very cozy, intimate gathering, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where we go today.
Mm-hmm. Well, I first heard Calista on Kim Wilburn's Fairy Tale Summit. And then I heard her again with just a private, more intimate, I guess, interview about your book with Kim. So yeah, let's actually just start there. I like to ask, generally ask people where they started on their spiritual path and their awakening. But since you called in the unicorns, let's talk about that, because I really feel like I was a unicorn in my past life. I think I shared that with you. I took my 2nd degree Reiki to heal the water. So, and I used to have this mole right there. I burned it off, and then another one's growing.
I love it. I love it. And I've had the pleasure, including yourself, of meeting incarnated unicorns and souls who really are so closely linked with the elemental kingdoms and the unicorn kingdom. And it's such a pleasure, because we're here to help the ascension of the planet and our personal ascension. And it's when we recognize each other, there's just such a spark of joy and magic that gets created. So no doubt we have some incarnated elementals and unicorns watching and tuning in as well. My path of working with these beautiful beings started round about, let's see, 2007. Yeah, 2007. Before that point, I was a cancer research scientist, so very different to teaching people about unicorns and doing activations and attunements, because I used to spend all day working in the lab creating oral therapies for the treatment of different types of cancers. But a long story short of my awakening is I left science because I was really disillusioned by it and its commercialization of health, things I saw. It just wasn't in resonance with me anymore. And in order to quench the thirst of this fire that was starting to, burn within me, I thought, will I do my PhD? Will I have a baby with the man that I was engaged to at the time? Or, where will I go? What avenue will I take? And I was guided towards studying a course in Reiki. And at that time had no idea what Reiki was, but like so many of us, it was that doorway that, led us back into our awakening. Because I don't believe that we just awake. I think we're remembering. I think we need to just call it remembering, isn't it? It's like a path of remembering. And when I went through that path of remembering and really left that cynicism, that judgment, that old scientific self behind, I found this part of me that was intrinsically magical, because I remember speaking to fairies when I was young in the nooks in my grand's garden and speaking to the trees and being able to pick up crystals and hear them. And I could hear them and have conversations with them as much as I could have a conversation with my gran and my mum. It was just, I thought that was normal. But growing up and then going into science, I always thought I had conjured that up. I'd made that up. That was part of childhood fantasy. But of course it wasn't. That was the illusion. So ironic. And then after I left science, I set up a business creating organic skincare. It was a really nice transition, leaving science and all the steps and processes, you know, of experiments, to then crafting soaps with, it wasn't chemicals, it was natural products, but it felt like a really nice transition for me. And I would infuse those products with the energy of Reiki, the energy of angels that I met in meditation, the energy of the Fae, and the mermaids who I connected with through meditation, and all that flooding of remembrance came back from lives in Atlantis and everything like this. And I'd wanted to create a unicorn soap, but by that point in my life, I had a remembrance of unicorns in Atlantis, but I'd never had an actual communication with them. So I sat down to ask them if I have unicorn guides, may they come forward to me, just as I'd done with meeting the fairies and meeting the unicorns. So I sat down. I remember sitting in my flat, my apartment at the time, and asking if I have guides, unicorn guides, may they come forward to me now. And no sooner had that request left my awareness than two beautiful unicorns came either side of me. And I can still feel it today. So there was a huge, big Celtic male presenting unicorn on one side, and then this more like a background presence, but still very there, of a female who presented herself to be very royal, playful, very pink kind of energy to her. And I've just affectionately called her Princess over the years, because she's never given me a name. But, you know, but as ever, our guides are a reflection of our higher self and our soul, if you like. And so I can very much identify with her energy, and I can very much identify with Hethgar's, this big, huge Celtic, very noble, very sometimes mostly serious unicorn guide. And as they came forward, they joined horns above my head. In my awareness, I could see this. And as they joined these horns of light that each unicorn has from their middle brow, this beautiful light started to emanate and be created, and it had a rainbow sort of diamond translucency to it. And it cascaded down around me. And it's so funny, I'm wearing rainbow again today. It cascaded down around me, but also within me. And as that happened, I felt myself being activated from the inside out, just points of my body, kind of not really chakras, but just, I guess every cell in our body is a chakra. So it felt like my cells were just awakening and switching on. And I could feel this rainbow ray, this diamond-like frequency that the unicorns bring forward within me, washing me, cleansing me, and also around my aura. And as that happened, I just felt this familiar sense, like I'd known unicorns, not in this lifetime that I'm leading, but in previous lifetimes. It just felt so homely, so familiar. And Hethgar then came to face me, and with his etheric horn tapped different points of my body, and that just felt like a deeper attunement, a deeper merging of our consciousness. And at that time I didn't really understand what was happening, but I now realized that what he was doing was attuning me to his consciousness, but also to all of the unicorn realm, so I could have a very easy, and I was trusting of our communication after that point. So just like when we receive a Reiki attunement and then we are one with that universal energy, or have the remembrance that we are, it was exactly the same as what was happening through this attunement. And Hethgar, he shared with me how he wanted the unicorn soap to look like, and the oils to put in and everything like that. But he was like, you know, that's not why this experience is so visceral. It's because you're going to be creating a system of healing, where you're going to bring forward people and attune them to the unicorns, just as you're receiving your attunement now. And that was a big deal, because I didn't think that I was here to be a teacher. I hadn't really figured out my path at that point. I was just, I didn't have any physical teachers around me apart from these beings, apart from the unicorns and the angels. And I'm a very trusting person. And so, but back then I was still very trusting, but I was also very naive. So I needed some sort of physical proof that this was real. So I said, okay, if I'm supposed to create this unicorn healing system, show me a sign. Please show me a sign. 2 days after this experience, my friend Catherine, who runs or did run back then a distance healing business, where she had different courses and you could buy the courses and she would attune you to different consciousness. And so she sent out an email, and one of her new courses was a channeled system from another guy, but she was offering it. She became a master in it, so she was offering attunements, and it was called the Unicorn Healing Energy System. And so I just knew there and then I have to sign up. Yeah. So I signed up. Catherine and I agreed on a day and time where she would give me the attunement, and afterwards she would email me back feedback if they had anything to say, or And so when I got the email, I laughed, because she had written in it, "The strangest thing happened, Calista, when I went to attune you to the unicorns and I asked them to come forward. They didn't pass on your attunement, and I asked why. And they said, because Calista has already attuned herself." And she thought she had done something wrong, but of course she hadn't, and that was the proof that I needed. And after that, Hethgar has always said, as I wrote in the book, discernment is just as important as our faith. We still have to be discerning about our guides and not just believe everything. It's okay to test them. Yeah. If we're in our ego or we're in our doubt, it's absolutely fine to ask them to give us signs or symbols or something of a physical nature to verify what we're receiving energetically. Yeah. They understand that sometimes we need this, so they're more than happy to oblige. And so I knew, okay, right, I have to create this system. So sat down in meditation, and I soon after that, my business of making holistic skincare morphed into opening up a holistic center. And I won a competition very similar to the Shark Tank sort of idea, where you pitch an idea to entrepreneurs who invest in you and your business. So in the UK, it's called Dragon's Den. It's a little bit different. But I won this competition, inspired and led by the unicorns to enter it.
Wow.
Yeah, and that whole story is just pure magic. And so that's in the book, Unicorn Rising. I guide people who are listening to go and read that story. If ever you need faith to just take that leap in your life, if you're looking at your life and you're going, I'm not happy with this, this, and this, how do I go from here to over here? Then that story will give you the inspiration and the motivation and probably the signs and the symbols and the synchronicities that you need to take the leap. Because that's exactly what happened with the unicorns. I won this center, had it for a couple of years. I tuned hundreds, if not thousands, of people to angels and unicorns and everything like that through the center. And then when the modalities that I created, unicorn healing, angel healing, the Atlantean system, when it became too much, I closed down the center and then started to teach in Europe, in the UK, and also in America. And then from there, took a couple of years off to have my family, who are unicorn souls, nice. 2 little boys. And then when my second son, he was about 1 year old, inspired by him because he is a pure Pegasian, who are very closely related to the unicorns, I entered a competition to win a publishing contract with Hay House. And even though I didn't win the competition, they contacted me to say they loved the idea for the book and they wanted to sign me. And so that's where I am. So very much thankful to the unicorns.
Yeah.
And you know what, Marguerite, that's just what happens when you invite them consciously into your life. Miracles become an everyday experience, and things that you didn't think would ever be possible really become your everyday. They really do. And so I'm really excited to be able to share among other people the teachings of the unicorns, and just to, you know, spread that joy, because they're here. They're here to help us remember who we are.
That's so beautiful. Wow. And that is actually the whole purpose of this Be the Expression, is to share our experience, strength, and hope. So that you just did that so beautifully. So beautifully. I just need to sit with that, because I was ready to start bawling when you were talking about your attunement. I think you just gave me an attunement.
You're not the first to say that. So yeah, it just came back from touring around the eastern states of America with the book, doing unicorn workshops, and a lot of people said that when I was regaling that story of attuning and meeting them, they could feel themselves receiving this rainbow ray that the unicorns bring forward. And I love how that happens, because it's always an energetic experience. And I think every day, whether we are, you know, opening our heart and having this very sacred experience, or whether we are cooking dinner for our loved ones or playing with our kids, we're still, our energy it is still, there's still this interplay, this vibrational conversation that's going on, and we don't even know about it sometimes, or we're not even aware. And I love that the unicorns are very much here to help us remember that everything is energetic that we do, and that if we are open to that, then we can start to magnify and attract into our life the people that we need to meet, the soul family that we need to connect with to create what we're here to create, and everything just becomes, yeah, just more joyful, like you said.
Yeah. And I thought it was the call to the Rainbow Warriors, which I've been doing for many, many years, why it was so important this year to bring in the rainbow and connect it to the new crystalline earth. But, you know, talking to you, perhaps it's also the unicorn that's really bringing that. Because I haven't really shared it a lot. It's just been more of a personal thing I've been doing.
I believe it is, and in particular the Pegasians, who overlight the unicorns. So in 2000, so I've been teaching this course, the Unicorn Healing course, for many years, but in 2015, who started to come in was the Pegasians. They came into everybody's attunement, and I thought, okay, is this an evolution of the system? And yes, it was, because everybody who joined after 2015 had a Pegasian guide as well as unicorn guides in their team that they worked with. And the Pegasians showed me that they bring forward the diamond ray.
Okay.
And if we look at the diamond ray, it is rainbow. It is those frequencies. And by its very nature, it's crystalline as well. And they share that it's one of the highest, purest, most on purpose and needed consciousness that we can bring in to the earth at this time. For so long, we've been working with Christ consciousness, and we've seen Christ consciousness, which really is just Christ, from crystal, that word. If we look at the word Christ, it really just means crystal. We've been looking at that consciousness as golden, but I believe it's advancing and it's becoming into this rainbow frequency, because of course everything advances. Yeah. There's always more to learn and more to understand. I was speaking to someone today about the violet flame, and they've literally just connected with the violet flame. And I thought, where have you been?
Yeah.
And anyway, it was lovely to hear that. And
Yeah.
I said, yeah, well, the more that you work with the violet flame, you'll start to see that it's got magenta and silver and gold within it, because it advances, it changes. And I think the nature of our consciousness, because we are becoming more crystalline, because the earth is as well, then of course the consciousness that we can bring into our body is higher and vaster and is changing. And so that's wonderful that you're bringing in the rainbow ray, the diamond ray, and you're bringing it into the heart of Mother Earth. I feel that's very much needed. And yeah, there's definitely a link why the unicorns are here in such numbers, and not just here in presence and energetically, but they're here through their symbology.
Yeah.
You just have to look on social media or switch on the TV, and there's unicorns everywhere. Like they're signs, and they're in branding and hair care and makeup, and they're giving us this. It's like those who understand and are aware are recognizing it for what it is. But I mean this in the most endearing terms, but muggles, those who aren't really awake are just like, oh, unicorns, that's really nice. And it still gives them some sense of hope and upliftment, which is great at the end of the day. But I believe there is a bigger meaning behind why the unicorns are here so much in our awareness.
Yeah. Thank you. And the fae and the it's just so funny. It's like all these dreams, all the visions of unicorns are all just coming flooding at me right now. So I'm not going to share them. I mean, not that I don't mind sharing them, but this is your platform, and it's just, we have time. Because I could talk to you all day. But it's beautiful. So I'd like to actually right now ask you, I ask everyone for this, the number one question is, how do you lean into love?
I love this question so much. I love this question. And I think we can go so many different ways with that. So many different ways. Because I guess it depends on what someone's perception of love is. And my perception of love is that it is who we are. And so how do we lean into love is how we lean into the love of who we are. And again, it depends on the day and the moment when you ask that question. But in this particular moment, I think how do I lean into the love of who I am is to accept all that I am. Because it is so easy to feel love and love ourselves when everything in our life is going rosy, when everything is going really well. But the mastery is, how do we accept and love ourselves when there's a lot of conflict and there's struggle and there's busyness and there's demands on our time? How do we still lean in to that awareness of who we are? And I feel that right now because I'm going through a divorce. I'm moving house in a couple of weeks. I've got a deadline of my next book proposal. There's so much going on, but yet I feel the peace and the love of who I am still. And that's only because I'm committed to a practice, a daily practice of connecting to the unicorns, connecting to myself. And the biggest practice that I do that I can offer is to say thank you. Is just to say thank you. So every morning when I get up, I say this, and I'm guided to share it with you. And it is, thank you for this new day, this new dawn, a new way to rise and shine. I am awake as I walk my path, awake as I stand in my power, and awake as I express my purpose with joy and ease. Today I will move through the world as love, and I bless the world I bless my family. I bless my friends. I bless myself and all I take my focus to today. Today is going to be a great day, for I am one with Source. And so I'll say that to myself every day, and especially if, because my boys have been getting up at 4:45 in the morning for the last week. So I don't have much time to get up and meditate like I used to and do my yoga and everything. But I'll always make time to say that. And I believe that by starting the day, starting our conscious waking day, by saying thank you, affirming that we're going to be loved throughout the whole day, no matter what, bringing the blessings to ourselves, bringing the blessings out to everybody as well, it sets you up for the day so that in any times of when you feel shaken out of your center or something is causing you to react, you can just remember. It becomes like a muscle memory. And so that would be my offering, to have a practice every day that reaffirms that you are love. And then it becomes much easier to lean into that direction. And also, the unicorns are a big one for talking about using love. So using the nature of love as well to harmonize life situations. And they say, for example, in any situation, we can do three things with love. We can either give more love to the situation. The situation's either asking us to give more love, or we need to receive more love, or we need to just be love. We need to literally be love, be a lighthouse, a love house in the opening of our hearts, and be love. And I have applied this to situations before in the past, and it's amazing how much can be realized. Because, for example, I don't know, so at the moment I'm deciding whether my fiance, well, he's deciding as well, we're doing it together, whether he should leave his job and come and we could work together, because that's what we want to happen. But the ego's there saying, can we afford it? Will it work? Da, 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 da. And so I'm applying, well, do I need to either be love in this situation? Do I need to give love to this situation? Or do I need to receive more? And I absolutely just need to be. I just need to be more love and know that everything will pan out. But it's a good one to put in your toolbox to remember. It's like a natural detangler, like a conditioner for situations, to be love, receive love, or give love. That's all I feel I need to say about that one. What about yourself? How do you lean into love?
Oh, definitely the magic. But I just wanted to share that when you were saying that, when you start your day with that center, or coming back to center, because so many things can throw us off these days, right? I think it's even more important because last year was the first season, so I was saying that, how do you stay centered in love, basically, right? When everything looks like it's going to hell in a handbasket. But I just saw, when you said that, a really strong cable, right? So when you're starting that intention every day, and of course the audience can use that or make it your own. But yeah, that was the image of that really strong cable. It's similar to when my higher self comes in and grounds me almost to like a bedrock, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
But definitely leaning into love is just sharing my love of nature, and I love that you do that daily. Like, that is.
I have to.
That's great. Because I've
If I do,
stopped
yeah.
Instagram too right now, so it's just yeah.
Yeah, my Mother Earth news that I normally do, I haven't been able to since coming back from the tour. It's just been so busy, and the demands on my time have just went other ways with either family or other things. But yeah, no matter what, I always do that affirmation, always be in the energy, and as much as I can get into nature, because of course she just takes us right back into our center no matter what. And there's always that beautiful reflection um, of what is out of kilter and what we do need to give more love to or receive more love. Like, she is such a mirror. Do you not find? Such a mirror.
Yeah, she is. And yeah, I don't, I thought a lot of it was just being a Taurus and an earth child, that I love the earth so much, right? But it was the call to remember the spirit in everything. And I really feel like when it was before me is before other people as well. So I went through some really bad year in 2016 and landed with these beautiful swans. And so I kind of was that exile, right? Just really trying to stay my free spirit, wild woman self. And it all started because I took a picture of some fairies. And I'm like, well, if the fairies are saying it's okay to come out, then I'm going to come out, right?
Yeah.
But the pushback, my whole life kind of fell apart, which is a blessing now. But just watching, so this is the second year with the swans and that transformation of the ugly duckling, right? So I don't know how much people are like really grasp it, but it doesn't matter. I just have to keep sharing, sharing it. That the swan is a totem for a lot of people that are in my sphere, even if they don't realize that. It's like we are going through this beautiful, oh my goodness, there's a hummingbird. Like right in front of the window. The feeder's over there. So it just...
That's manifestation, isn't it, in abundance?
Yeah, but it's that beauty and grace, right? That total surrender of trust. And I mean, they are a doorway to the other dimensions, and the Fae is one of them. So nature just is always confirming and affirming that we are loved, and we're talking to you. We're talking to you. And it's funny when you were saying about the guides and the discernment, because I had to this year too, because I have been such a willing advocate, for so many years for spirit, that I've had to put boundaries up. I can't do it right now. Find someone else.
And I think we're being asked to do this more, especially coming into the energy of August, which is, the Lion's Gate and all the retrogrades that are going on. Like, there's 7 retrogrades, I think, this month, 7 big planets. And so, yeah, it's a big time for us to really address our boundaries. And I was very naive for a couple of years on my spiritual path, thinking, I don't need boundaries. I'm just going to be free. My heart's open to everybody. And that's wonderful. It's wonderful when my energy is really high and I'm clear. But when I'm, off kilter and I'm still in that state, then I just get hit with lots of things. And so it's really good to have boundaries, especially if you go through really busy points in your life and you're interacting with people that aren't really, resonant to you, but maybe they're family members and, they're coming to stay with you for a while and you're in that space. You have to have boundaries. You have to. And I think even with social media networks and things like that, it's good to employ some sort of energetic boundary, even if it's just an affirmation that everyone in this community, we interact from the highest place of love, something like that. So we set the intention of what we're creating on a collective level, and then also at a personal level. I think that's really important, and I think the energy of August is asking us to step into that warrior lion and go, okay, right, you're not in my space anymore, or that habit isn't, I don't want to have that habit or that behavior or have that fear anymore. I think it's an opportunity for us to set those boundaries now.
Yeah. And I love that we are actually having this conversation right in the portal of the
Lion's Gate. Yeah.
Yeah, and eclipse is here too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Let me just have a peek at the time here. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we went totally over time. So let me just quickly, and it doesn't have to be an activation, but I think what I was really pulled to you, of course, not just the unicorns, but the children. And you know that you mirror me in so many heartfelt desires that we are magical models for the children, because I really feel that they do have that new heartbeat, and we're just kind of catching up to them. But the more we can, because for me, I mean, you know, I'm pushing 60 here. I didn't really have any, and I don't think a lot of the women in my generation had really good, strong role models, right? In any, especially in the spiritual realm. So I just loved your words, and I know it was you were in a meditation, but maybe you can just kind of expand on what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. Well, why do we go into an energetic space? It doesn't have to be long, because the blessings that we send are infinite and long lasting. So let's just go into that space, and we can all open our hearts to the same intention. And the intention is that as all the new beings that are coming to the earth right now, and all the new life that was born from us being together today, in the time that we've been together, all the new babies that have taken their first breath, their first heartbeat in this physical world, let's set our intention to extend our heart and our love to them, so that they know that they're coming into a world that is more than ready to support them. A world where we have created the template of hope, of unity, of faith, of trust and love. And may these beautiful new beings, the new teachers, the next generation of way showers and healers and leaders, may they advance what we have created and anchor the diamond light and all the frequencies to come, so that Mother Earth and all that live on and in Mother Earth are in their joy, ascending in grace and ease. May the next generation have all that they need to feel loved and cared for and supported. And may their own unique kind of magic be nurtured and respected and grown as they grow. And holding the vision in your heart, beautiful friends, of the earth that you want to create, the new Eden, the new heaven, that you and the next generation were all helping to create. spending a moment to really dream and come into this energy of the new earth. Perhaps you're seeing a greater sense of cooperation, an end to war and struggle. Perhaps you're seeing that no one is homeless or no one is hungry. Or perhaps you're seeing the earth flourishing, abundant and green, with all the magical portals of the earth open, so that man and the elements and the elementals are all working in harmony, all living in a sacred conversation with each other that benefits the all. Just seeing and feeling your intention for the new earth being born. Breathing into it. And then letting it go. And then opening your eyes when you're ready, friends. And I don't know if you heard, but my printer was fully switched off, and we switched it on.
Okay, I did hear something.
We completely switched on the printer. I thought I was going to print off something like a note from Source saying it was done. That was the funniest thing. Yeah. That just shows that always happens. Our energy focuses and then has this effect on technology.
It does.
But that visualization is something to, whenever you've got time, whenever you're in a queue or you've got the time to just sit and dream, put your magic there. Put your magic there. See that new world being born, the Eden, the heaven that you want to bring through you. So important. And every moment of dreaming and creating and feeling is really helping for that to manifest.
Yeah. I was told that in a summer solstice ceremony I did. I think it was 2007. Anyways, I was just told to visualize paradise, and it was nice that I was calling to it first, and then it was effortless to get the visions, and now it's pulling us in. So I love, it's just been a beautiful. I don't even want to say transformation, but just a growth, like you said. We're always evolving and growing. And that is our revolution, and I've been saying lately, is our evolution of higher consciousness. Yeah. So thank you for more of that. Beautiful co-creation in the printer. What do we need to print off? Symbolically, that's really funny.
Yeah, isn't it? It's like the completion. Because you work on something and then you print it off, and that's the completion.
Here's the new earth.
It feels like that's it done. Okay, on to the next collective dream that we're birthing. Oh, it's so fun.
So tell us everywhere that people can connect with you.
So if you type in Calista Ascension on Instagram or Facebook, you can find me, and also calistaascension.com is my website, and I'll just show you because I have it right here. If you don't have my book, Unicorn.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm so glad they printed it with all this, the unicorn light.
Oh, yeah. And what is the mother unicorn's name?
The unicorn on here. Is that what you mean?
No, but isn't there an overlighting? Maybe it is her. I don't know. But Una?
Oh, Amaya.
Amaya.
Amaya, yeah. Amaya. So Amaya is yeah, you could say mother, some days mother, some days queen. The basically, you can work with Amaya, you can connect with her. If you don't know who your unicorn guides are, you can ask to connect with Amaya, and she will most certainly help to bring magic into your life. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So you can get your book through your website and Amazon?
Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all those places. And there's also, because there's so many activations and attunements, meditations in the book, I'm really glad that Hay House has made it into a CD, because often when we're reading a book, we don't really do the meditations, do we?
No.
And there's so much, there's so much power and magic in this. So if you look up Unicorn Healing Meditations on iTunes or Amazon, that's the audio series that you can listen and receive the attunements on.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, no, you got to put it up beside you.
I know.
I wonder if I can take a picture. Is it possible to take pictures on here?
I think so.
I'm going to take one on my phone, okay? Just because
Yeah.
I can then put it on the beginning of this when it goes to YouTube. Okay. So, hang on. Sorry, it's taking a minute.
It's okay.
Turn it around. There we go. Okay. Now, can you look up here more? There you go. Beautiful. Okay. So this
Nice.
is in the Awakened Magic and on the YouTube. So, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, beautiful sister.
Oh, it was gorgeous. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so glad we connected, and yeah, thank you so much for sharing your experience, strength, and hope, and saying yes to sharing more magic with the Magic Awakened community.
It was my pleasure. It's my pleasure. If you want to, I'd love to come and see your group and say hello if you want. I don't know if your group's on Facebook.
Yeah, I have a private group, so definitely invite you, and this will actually be airing